What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Kinesia Outdoors YouTube video. In today's video, I'll be doing a gear review on the APA Little Bastard. So, American Precision Arms, or APA, makes muzzle brakes, and I went ahead and ordered the Little Bastard. I got the 5/8 by 24 thread and the 308 caliber, and I got it nitrided. They also have a stainless steel finish. So, what you get when you get this box is you get the muzzle brake, you get an Allen key, you get thread tight, and then you get little screws that go in the top ports of the muzzle brake. I want to go over my past experience with muzzle brakes before I dive into this one. So I've never owned a muzzle brake before, never shot any muzzle reduction technology, so no suppressor and no muzzle brake ever. But I knew I wanted one because I wanted to be able to reduce my recoil. I just got a 6.5 PRC. Recoil is estimated to be 16, 17 foot-pounds. That's not a lot, but I'm 5'9 3/4", buck 55, like soaking wet. I don't got a lot of meat on me, so I want something to reduce the recoil so I don't develop a flinch, and so I can watch my impacts. I also want to be able to shoot my gun longer, have longer range time, so I am more inclined to shoot it, practice with it, and become more and more proficient with it. So that's why I wanted a muzzle brake. And again, I have no idea if this is the best muzzle brake or the worst muzzle brake, but my experience with this was almost all positive. And we'll get into the almost part later on here. So I was going to go with the APA Fat Bastard, and from what I understand, it's just a larger version of this Little Bastard. Now, I was going to choose that one because reading forums, just looking things up online, the videos, everything was just positive about the muzzle brake. I even asked Matt Alwine on one of his Q&As, I think he was headed to New Mexico, which muzzle brake I should go with between this one and a different brand. He recommended the APA for sure. So when I called APA, I told them the gun I have, which is a 6.5 PRC Savage 110 carbon tactical. It has a 24-inch proof barrel. They recommended the Little Bastard over the Fat Bastard. Since it's smaller, it has a better time with the harmonics of the barrel. If the muzzle brake or the piece on the end of the barrel is too heavy or too light, it can actually cause issues with the barrel harmonics. When you shoot a barrel, it kind of has a whipping action, and that weight on the end can really throw things off. So he said I should get the Little Bastard, so that's what I did. This is a 1-inch diameter, 2.55-inch long, 4.4-ounce muzzle brake. It's made for barrels in the 3/4 to 1-inch diameter. Now, installation to this was super easy. What it is you have this kind of timing nut, but that's not actually where the threads are that go on the barrel. The threads on the barrel are actually inside of this guy. Let me see if I can do my camera work. Kind of see it. Anyways, the threads are going to be inside that hole there. This goes on to the outside threads, the exterior threads. And what this does is this allows you to align so these UPC, these top ports, stay perfectly vertical. And that gets me into the downside of this muzzle brake. So this is considered a self-timing muzzle brake. I didn't really have issues with it. Now, with this locking nut, I actually found that if I had the muzzle brake slightly too far, once I tighten this locking nut down, it would actually pull it back slightly to get these as vertical as possible. Another issue I had, and this is me just being OCD type A, is there's no flat surface on this. And because of that, I can't get it perfectly vertical. I know that's not a big issue. If you get it really close, that should be fine, but I like to be very technical with what I do when I build my arrows, when I reload. Anything that I do, I want to be very precise, and I can't be perfectly precise because there's no way I can put a level on this. When I call them up, they told me to eyeball it, which I'm sure works fine, but it's not perfectly precise. And if I had this, for example, twisted way off, so if just straight at you is going to be vertical, if I had to twist it off 20 degrees, the recoil would actually push my gun to the left, right? And if I had it the other way, the recoil would actually push my gun to the right. So ideally, I wanted it as close as possible. That's what I wanted. I got it pretty close, but there's no way to know if it was absolutely perfect. So with this muzzle brake, there are directions included, as well as videos online on how to use these top ports. What I was told when I called customer service is, since I'm just hunting with this mostly, just take all of the screws out, But if you're trying to shoot competitions or trying to be as accurate as possible, they have a protocol for using the screws. Essentially, these back two, because they're closest to the barrel, they actually release the most pressure. Now, if all the other screws are in and just those back two screws are not in, that will actually reduce that vertical jump the most. And then as you get further out, then it will help reduce it just a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And then you can have some out on one side and some out on the other if you're getting a left or a right kind of vertical movement of the barrel. Now, when I use this, my likes are that it was incredibly easy to install. And I actually was able to find out that I had a scope issue that I didn't know about because I had this muzzle brake. I was shooting 44 inches high at 100 yards, which is way over the top of the target. And I wouldn't have known that had I not been able to stay in the barrel on the gun and have very little vertical movement. And then, excuse me, just got a text, have very little vertical movement, and I was able to see the impact on the ground behind my target. So that was fantastic, really happy with that. Again, easy to install, so really liked that. I felt reduced recoil. I've never shot my 6.5 PRC without this muzzle brake, but I have a 270, shot it without a muzzle brake, and it was fine, but I had difficulty managing the recoil. Now, I will say I have a new bipod, and I've learned a little bit how to manage recoil, so maybe that also helped quite a bit. I don't know. But I will say I shot 15 rounds with my 6.5 PRC, and no soreness the next day, and I usually feel sore after 15 rounds of my 270. Again, not a whole lot of meat on my bones. For me, the recoil was less than my 243, which is 8 to 9 foot-pounds. This felt, with the 6.5 with this on it, it felt like it was less, so I was really happy with that. I already mentioned this, but my dislike is that since it is easy to install, that's a plus. I just can't get this perfectly perpendicular to the ground. That's just a me thing. But overall, I really like this muzzle brake. Easy to install, reduces recoil dramatically, looks good on the gun, fits good very easily. It's lightweight, and it hasn't affected my accuracy that I can tell. So overall, I recommend this product. If you just know nothing about them and you see this video, I like it. This is my first muzzle brake, and I probably will get other muzzle brakes from APA in the future. I went with the 308 because I'm going to get probably a 300 Winchester short mag in the future, and having the larger caliber means I can use it for smaller calibers, but I can't use the muzzle brake with a larger caliber. So if I got this in the 6.5 millimeter, I couldn't use it for a 7 millimeter or 308. So I was told by them, if you think you're going to use a 308 bullet, get a 308 muzzle brake, and you can use it for smaller calibers. Again, I really like this product. Not much bad to say about it. If you have any experiences with this product or other muzzle brakes, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd be curious to hear if anybody thinks I should have gone with a different brand. I'm pretty happy with this one, so I don't know that I'll switch, but might get another brand just to test it out and kind of do some comparisons for you all. But again, I'm pretty happy with it. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe if you have not, and I'll catch you on the next video.